Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I just wanted to do another portfolio update. Before we start the video, if you could hit that like and subscribe button, I would greatly appreciate it. So you can see here over the last 3 months, since I funded the account, we're up almost $3,000, so about 23%. You can see we've kind of had some drawdowns over the last couple of months, but slowly recovered. A lot of that is due to the Ethereum position that I opened up back somewhere in June. I think it was toward the end of June when I opened the position. Haven't done much to the portfolio, but we'll get into it right after I show you what my overall general view of the market looks like. So you can see here, S&P really hasn't gone anywhere. We had this, these two drops, and it was a decent pullback, and then the market rallied back up here. I still, you've probably been hearing me say in the last couple videos, I still believe that a bigger pullback is going to come. When, I'm not sure, but I've been building cash, reducing position size, anticipating that. Still waiting for the NASDAQ to potentially come down here and test this area from prior all-time highs. So you can see it here in February and in December. So we'll see if the market will get down here. That's where I'd like to potentially play the long side. With either calls or with shares, but as the market gets closer to that area, I'll definitely kind of get more aggressive, and I'll show you guys where and why I'm going to get into positions around that level. So as far as my current positions though, I don't have any plans to add any more Amazon right now. I talked about in my previous video this anchored VWAP and the 200-day moving average as potential areas where I could possibly pick up some more shares. Google, same thing, nowhere of interest on this chart that I see that I'm going to put more capital to work. I'm letting the position, run its course. AMD, same thing. It's kind of in no man's land right now. I think a healthier pullback, maybe into this like 140 to 130 area would be somewhere I'd be more aggressive, but I'm still just staying put right now with the position. UPS, this was a recent buy just a couple weeks ago. The reason why, and I talked about it, I believe in the last video, was you can see here this green little bar area that I have. So there was an all-time high that was set here in December of 04, broke through in August of 2013, came back and tested in Jan 16, the COVID low, and we're trading around that level. It could start to break down and break through this level, but I plan on, starting to build this position out as a long-term position. It's got a good dividend as well. So I'm comfortable holding the position long-term. I don't think UPS is going anywhere. And I think that overall the chart could be starting to bottom. You can see here it's just been making higher lows. So I am kind of trying to catch a knife and, hope that I'm potentially catching the bottom. But we'll see what happens with the chart. As far as Oscar, it's looking great. I held through a lot of this pain. You can see here 3 weeks of red candles started to consolidate. We've slowly started to push back up. Let's go to a daily candle, and now we're holding above the 200-day moving average again. So as long as we can create this like $15 area as support, we could start to move higher up. My average here is $16.68, I believe. So I just have 150 shares, and I'm still down on the position, still down on the UPS position. This plus sign means that I have a limit order set for more shares to buy on UPS. So we'll see if the stock continues to go down and I can pick up more shares there. So as far as Ethereum, I'm letting the position run. I trimmed a little bit. I think it was on July 23rd. And ever since, I'm just letting the position run. I still think, and I talked about it in prior videos, that all-time highs are coming. I think, the 4,800 level up here is very possible, maybe in the next month or so. But the chart looks good. It had this, good pullback to about 3,400, and now it's up almost $1,000 from there. So we'll continue to kind of see how the position overall goes. One thing I would be interested to see is you can see here that we had this downtrend line. So we had multiple tests here, another test here, and then we broke through. It'd be interesting to see if we pulled back to this like 3950 level, hit that trend line, and then made the next move up to 4,800. I wouldn't be shocked to see that. So if you're in Ethereum, definitely keep an eye on that position. Besides that, I have some positions over here that I'm interested in looking at. I had Chipotle In the last video, I had bought 100 shares. I think my average was around 43.76, so somewhere right around this downtrend line. You can see here, I had this nice downtrend line, or excuse me, uptrend line. That's where I opened the position. I had also talked about that I thought the position could go against me and it could get down to this blue line around 39.20 or even this anchored VWAP from the COVID low. It looks like that's potentially where price is headed. So we'll see what happens. But I cut the position for now. I'm potentially interested in getting back in as a long-term position, but at the moment I wanted to raise some cash, put some cash on the sidelines in case some of these other bigger players started to roll over. I had money to buy more shares in those companies. So, but that's really all I have. I'm kind of, it's kind of been a boring portfolio, a boring month, but that's okay. I'm in no rush to, continue to buy things at these prices. If the market continues to go higher, I'll ride the market with what I have. But I still think that there's going to be a good sized pullback, maybe 5 to 10%. And that's where I'll get more aggressive and try to add to, stocks that have had a lot of momentum going into the end of the year. So we'll keep you updated. I'll probably do another video sometime next week, just seeing. We have CPI tomorrow. PPIs, I think, is either Wednesday or Thursday. So inflation will be, a big headline. Everybody's waiting for the Fed to cut rates in the September meeting, so the next few days will be important for the market to see overall where the direction is going to go and how optimistic we are that we're going to get those rate cuts in September. So I'll keep you guys updated.